Hey guys, Brian here. Welcome back to the Keyhole Collectibles. If you're with me, thank you. I certainly appreciate the views and the support. I got more than I thought I would on that first video, and like I said, I wanted to do some more. Unfortunately, I haven't got my CGC books back yet. The Last Ronin. I have another pre-screen that went in after that. I called there the other day, and here's one of the things that aggravates me about CGC. Especially now, I get an email they're raising their prices. They hired more workers, so their prices went up on everything. You know, the tier that my membership is at, where I was getting a 10% discount, no longer gets a discount. Only the elite tier gets a discount. You know, all these things happen, but in the end, it's supposed to be better for us because they hired more people, which is great. We'll have faster turnaround times and all that. However, I sent these books in on January 5th. They were received by CGC. They didn't get entered in the system until the end of January. At the time when they were sent, the turnaround time for the modern was like 45 days, which I got them back. We did that video. The magazine tier modern was 70 days. Now it's up to 89 days if you go and look at the times, right? And when mine went in, they're not operating off of what it was when they went in, and they're not looking at the when you sent yours in, we were only at 70 days, so you should have had yours back. Now they're at 89 days. You know, it doesn't go by like your order. Your order doesn't stick with that. You were at a 70-day approximated time. As that changes, so does your order. So I'm still sitting here. It's been almost 3 months now, but of course when you call, they operate in business days. So we still have 29 days before we're out of the window of that 89 in their eyes, which is frustrating and aggravating, but one of the things you have to deal with if you're going to do this, right? So I'm trying to get together another one because, you know, I do have a little eBay store. You got to keep things, you got to try and keep things going, and it's hard if they're coming in once every 3 months. But I figured while I don't have any of that, what I can do is talk about some of the things that I've been putting my money into, where my investments are going, some things I picked up lately, some things that I think are hot or going to be hot, you know, those types of things. I figured I can make a video and talk about that. First thing, though, I do want to show you is I'm back on the Chromebook again today. My wife got me this lovely little camera, this lovely little setup, so that I could do this and not have to worry about the glare and all that stuff that was getting me the last time. And I can't figure it out. It came with an HDMI wire. It was supposed to just plug right in, and my Chromebook doesn't have an HDMI port, so I'm not the most tech-savvy person on earth. I will get it figured out, and moving forward, we'll be doing that. I'll be on there, and that'll give me the opportunity to do some pressing videos people asked for, you know, things like that. So, a big thank to my wife, Sabrina. I love you. Thank you. Now, here's some of the books I want to talk about today. The first one is Something is Killing the Children, #1. The 8th printing, right? To me, this is crazy. These things are selling for like $20, $15. That's insane. The book just came out, and the print run is like 75,000. My LCS still has them at cover price. That's what I paid for mine. And I strongly recommend that nobody pay above that. Because the fact that they came out so strong out of the gate, really, there was option news right there. We finally got it. The TV series is in the works. We don't have any details. We don't know actors, actresses. We don't know the studio, you know, whoever's producing. We don't know any of that. All we know is that there's a TV series in the works. That's enough to make something that's already been hot get a little bit hotter. But I think that there's other things within the series that you could put your money into that are going to be a little better long term than that 8th print. The other day I picked up. Now I paid $149 for this. It was free shipping, but you know, I'm very happy with it. I got Something's Killing the Children #1, the 5th print cover. Right now, this one is the complete opposite of that. There's only 2,200 223, I think, is the number of these that were printed, ordered by retailers. So there's never going to be a high supply of these. I actually have two of these now. The other one I have is kind of like 9.2, 9.4 range, has a couple big ticks. This one's pretty beautiful. Is it a 9.8? We're going to see, because I'm going to send that in for sure. I don't know if it's a 9.8, but it's probably definitely a 9.6 if it's not. Also, this came with that for $149. Number 3, another low print, only 17,500, let's say, of those. Another low print. That one's also high grade, has a couple ticks. Is it a 9.8? Probably not, but it's definitely a 9.4 to a 9.6. And then this. This, I believe, is a 9.8. Something's Killing the Children, number 9. Now, if you remember, we talked about this in my last video. I had the second printing. I have 3 first printings at CGC right now, awaiting grade. And this, I think, is going to be a big book. Unfortunately, I don't have a name, so I have to keep referring to her as the woman who brought Erica to the House of Slaughter. The woman who, saved Erica when her parents died and took her to the House of Slaughter, makes her first appearance in this book. And I think that long-term spec-wise, this is going to be big. If you look at the covers for 17, 18, and everything that's coming out, this woman is all over those covers. So she's going to be a big part of the story. And you have to remember, this story is in its infancy. I mean, we're still at the beginning of this. We're 15 issues deep. We're just now about to get the origin of Erica coming out. Out of those 15 books, there's going to be a few keys in there besides her first appearance. Now, you don't know who else out of that first run is going to stick around. James might not be there. Tommy might not be there. None of those other people. But rest assured, the House of Slaughter will factor into this. And that woman's going to factor into that story. Another thing that's going to factor into that story is Erica's octopus. Now, that lot that I spent $149 on, it came with the number 1, 5th print, it came with the number 3, it came with number 9, which is, like I said, about a 9.8. It also came with a number 10, which is, no big deal. But it also came with 13 and 14. Now I have, a bunch of these in the room that I also bought for myself, spec-wise, because this is the first appearance of Erica's octopus in its I don't even know what form you would call it. It's ghostly form, as like Tommy's little sister here is coming out of this stuffed animal. Well, her octopus also has a little demon trapped within it. The one she talks to all the time. It's definitely going to be a big part of the story moving forward, how it got there. And in 13, it makes its first appearance. You see it come out of the octopus for the first time. It takes form, but you don't see its face. In 14, over here, you get its face for the first time, and what it actually looks like. So, I think that they're both decent books spec-wise for Something's Killing the Children moving forward. Once we get deeper into the plot, all that stuff is going to come out more and more. I'm personally so excited for her origin. It's coming out now this month, the end of the month. Super excited. Okay, but here's a couple other things that I picked up. The other day at my LCS, I found a Kanto, Hollow Men, number 1, Kanto 2. I know that there's a couple first appearances in here. I also know that Will Smith just picked up the Kanto and optioned it, and they're going to do something with that, so I feel like for cover price, that was a good spec buy. I've never read Kanto, don't know anything about it, but again, at cover price, why not? Another one I bought, strictly speculation, is Avengers No Road Home, number 10. This is the first appearance of Cosmic Zeus, and we got news the other day, Russell Crowe let it leak that he's going to be playing Zeus in Thor, Love and Thunder. So there's not many comics that you could find in the Marvel run at all with Zeus in them. this is the most modern. It's the first appearance of Cosmic Zeus, but we don't know, really what form of the Zeus we're getting. He just said Zeus, and the other two are that were keys are, Silver Age and very, very expensive books. So that was an affordable one at cover price. I figured also worth a grab. Why not? Now these ones I paid up for a bit. And we're going to talk about how I feel about these, and you guys can please tell me how you feel about these as well. Let me take one of these out of the mylar, the plastic here, okay? We have the Berserker, 3rd print, foil, right? Still getting the glare here. I mean, it's a beautiful cover. It's amazing artwork, amazing colors, beautiful. I paid $80 for that at my local comic shop when I went to get my orders the other day, and I'm going to tell you why. Boom Studios came out, they released Berserker #1. The print run on #1 was something like 700,000, right? So immediately I started thinking of, the 90s million copy print runs, and it got scary for a minute. Then Berserker hit. Everybody loves it. I read #1. I didn't get to read #2 yet. I did read #1. It's definitely action-packed. There's a lot more action than there is words. I could tell you that. But Keanu Reeves is behind it. Boom Studios is behind it. It's already been optioned for a live-action TV show and an anime series. So, it's going forward. It's gonna be big. It's living up to the hype, and it might have even surpassed it. So Boom came out with a 2nd print, which to me was confusing from the door, because I go into my local comic shop and there's still a stack of Berserker #1 sitting on the shelf. All the incentives, so many places ordered so many copies to get them 1 in 1,000s, so the 1 in 1,000 retail incentives, so they could get them signed by Keanu and slabbed over at CGC. And I just didn't understand the need for a 2nd print. But then turns out there were a lot of smaller comic shops who didn't order 1,000 copies to get that, so they didn't have that many, and they did sell out, and they were in need of a 2nd print. So Boom came out. They estimated a number. I could have swore that it was like 50. I want to say it was 50,000 or somewhere around there for the 2nd print and the foil. The orders far surpassed that. Right, so the 2nd print got hot. 2nd print selling for $60 to $100, because it was only 50,000, and it was orders for it were in the hundreds of thousands, so it was allocated. So then they decided to do a 3rd print, and now this is the part that gets me. Even though the 50,000 for the 2nd print wasn't enough, they decided to only do 10,000 for the 3rd print. There were single stores that ordered more than 10,000 of them. So everyone got allocated. Some places ordered 3,000 and got 50. Some places ordered 100 and got 2. They allocated the crap out of this book, the 3rd print foil. So I paid $80 for it at my local comic shop, because even though I feel that in a way Boom is manufacturing rarity, at the end of the day, this is going to be the one to have. Out of all of them, it's going to be the 3rd print foil. So I'm taking these, I'm sending them to CGC. Hopefully they come back at 9/8. Oh, I picked this up. Let me finish that story. I picked this up for $80 at my LCS. After I left the LCS, I was on the way home. Decided to jump on eBay, and I caught somebody selling 2 of them for $80. Now, unfortunately, no LCS is going to let you walk back in and give back a book you just spent $80 on. So I ended up getting 3. And I think that in the long term, it's going to far surpass paying off for itself. The hopes, anyway, right? Okay, now here's a couple things that I'm thinking about sending to CGC. #1, is We Live #5, right? First print. This book kills me because for weeks after this book came out, I walked into my local comic shop and they were sitting on the shelf. And I already had one. I had a beautiful copy. So I didn't grab another one because I didn't read it. I didn't get a chance to read it. And this is why it's very important. Read your comics. Read your comics. Especially if you're doing this as an investment, or you're in the business of selling comics and making money. I mean, you have to read them to know what's going on. And unfortunately, I have so many series that I'm reading right now that We Live #5 kind of got put on the back burner, and it turns out that this is the key to the series, really. I don't want to really. If you haven't read We Live, read it. I don't want to spoil too much, but the first appearance of the most important people in this story are here in this book, #5. And now it's a $40 book on eBay. And now I only have one copy, and I could have had a ton at cover price. Instead, I don't. Something's Killing the Children #1. First print. And this isn't something that I just picked up. It's something that I've had. But I want to send this to CGC. I'm ready to send it. This is an absolutely beautiful copy. I'm hoping it is a 9/8. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it, but at the bottom corner down there's the slightest little tick that turns the corner up a little bit. And unfortunately, the ink is just gone right there. It's not something that's pressable. It's, is it enough missing to miss the 9/8 mark? We're going to see, because I'm going to send it in. That is a huge book. Even at a 9/6, I mean, I would be ecstatic to have that book at a 9/6. Let's see. These are some other things now that I picked up and I'd like to send to CGC just because. Department of Truth #2. This is believe the first appearance of the star-faced man who's been haunting Cole's dreams and all of that stuff since he was a kid. Also, I want to add, sorry I got lost in thought right there, the new one that just came out, Department of Truth #8, you should definitely grab that also, because there's a big character introduced in there. If you're not reading this series, I strongly suggest reading it. It's really written very, very well. Also written by James Tynion, who does Something Is Killing the Children, and I mean, the man knows how to tell a story. That man knows how to tell a story, let's just say that. Okay, I want to send these off to CGC. I have 2 more Strange Academy. This came back at 9/8 last time. There's a couple slight ticks on these. They don't break color, so I'm pretty sure that I could get 9/8s on both of these, and I'm going to be looking to do that. Those are on the next list to go. We have a Scotty Young variant. Still sealed from the store. That's not a huge book, but definitely one worth slabbing. It's a Strange Academy #1 here. Tankers #1. Okay, from Bad Idea, first print. This is weird. This was weird to me. Okay, the story here pretty much is the world is running out of fossil fuels. We're running out of oil. They have to solve the problem. So to solve the problem, they build a time machine to go back and save the dinosaurs, thinking that if dinosaurs lived longer, that there would be more dead dinosaurs, and long-term, more fossil fuels would be produced. Why they didn't just go the green energy route, I don't know. But it's their story. I'll let them tell it. I think I'm going to send this off to CGC. ENIAC #1 went big time, and this is in beautiful condition. The quality of their books is really, I mean, they pretty much surpassed just about everybody in terms of quality. I have to be honest. Boom has a great quality product. Images are pretty good. It's Marvel. DC has pretty good quality, but man, I mean, them bad idea books, they really are something to look at and hold and read. Darth Vader. Okay, number 7. This is the first appearance of Ochi of Bastoon. Not a huge book yet. We'll see what happens with it down the line, but it's definitely one that I think is worth slabbing. So I'm gonna send that in. This is another one that I grabbed. And I grabbed these a few months back, right? Naomi got optioned for the CW. Everybody jumped all over number 1. All the printings. However, I jumped on number 5. I think I grabbed like 6 of these at less than cover price at the time. 2 of them that I have are 9.8 candidates. The other one's got some ticks and stuff going on. But this is the first time we see Naomi in her uniform. This is, you know what I mean? This is really where it all begins. Yeah, you're introduced to her, and those are her first appearances, but I really think that's going to be a big, big book once all that takes off. And if Naomi catches on, it's a great story. If it catches on the CW, then, that's going to be a big book to have. Marvel Voices Legacy, number 1. I grabbed a couple of these just because it's a beautiful Delato cover. Miles there, and that's a beautiful copy. So I was thinking about having that one sent off to have graded. Not super sure on that one. Star Wars High Republic, number 1. Second print. This one, this is one of the ones I got this at my local comic shop, and my local comic shop, they're great in a lot of ways. They get a lot of books in there from places that other places don't. Mad Cave, Behemoth, they have all of the Aftershock. I mean, everybody. Boom, Image. They have everybody. All the small indie places. They get a lot of Scout Comics. They get a lot of stuff in there that a lot of other comic shops don't. However, they have a very, 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 very strict one per customer policy on books. And it drives me crazy. Because since I'm a kid at the comic shop, I buy 2 copies. I buy a reader copy because I read my books. And I buy a copy to put up and put away. And at this store, I'm unable to do that. And now my kid, my son's getting into collecting. And I can't get the books for him. There's times I go there and it's so frustrating. I want to grab a book for me. I'm starting his collection. I want to grab a book for him, and they won't let me do it. Sometimes I get away with it on books that aren't big, but something like this, I bought one of these, and my wife bought one. Okay, she ordered it online in her name because that's how you have to do it. You can't just go to the store. Sunday morning, I have to set my alarm, wake up at 8 a.m. to jump on there and put in my order for the week, the ones that aren't on my pull list already. And then, Wednesday I go pick them up. Well, I ordered one, she ordered one, and because she was my wife, they only gave us one. And my son didn't get one. But it's a good copy. I'm going to send it off to CGC because, the way this one fell, even though they're up to like the 6th print now, the way this one fell, the FOC for this actually came before number 1 hit the stores. So stores really didn't even know how it was going to sell. They didn't realize that it was going to sell out the day it hit the store. The first printing I'm talking about. So this was really under ordered as opposed to the following printing. So that's why I want to send that off. Something's Killing the Children, number 3. This is another one. This is my copy from my personal collection. I want to get the 9.8 on it. It's a beautiful copy. I want it in a slab. Something's Killing the Children, number 8. Really, at this point right now, 1 through 9, I think, are slabbable books and worthy of it. So I'm going to send in number 8 as well. Oh, here's a good one. Nottingham. Number 1. Oh, number 1. Sorry, I got it mirrored. Number 2. First print. I missed these at my LCS. I wanted it. They only ordered 5 copies of it. They didn't think it was going to be that big or sell that much, so they only ordered 5 copies. And I didn't get it. But what I was able to do was to go onto Mag Cave's site directly, and I ordered 5 copies of this at cover price. And I ordered 5 copies of this at cover price. I got them. They were in amazing, amazing condition when they showed up. I mean, I have no doubt that these are 9/8s. And the other 4 I was able to sell for, a substantial profit. I mean, the day after they released, I sold all of them for over $30 each. So it worked out. It worked out for the better, for sure, for that. Some's Killing Children number 2. I have one of these over at CGC right now. That one's from my PC. I think this one also could get the 9/8, so I'm gonna send it. It's Erica's second appearance. It's number 2, and the further and further number 1 gets out of reach. I'm sorry, I need to take a sip of coffee, guys. Hold on, I'm sorry. Throat's getting a little dry there. The further and further, that number 1 gets out of reach, I think number 2 is gonna become a bigger book. And it's already like a $200 to $250 book in a slab anyway, so why not, right? We have the Something is Killing the Children number 13, Diego Galindo variant. I love this cover. I have one of these at CGC right now getting slabbed, but I think that this is a beautiful cover, and like I just said, when I was talking about the other 13, this is really the first appearance of Erica's octopus, and it's a ghostly monster form. So I'm going to go for that as well. Another Something's Killing Children number 8. I'm going to throw that up, see if it gets the 9/8. Number 7, we're going to put that, see if it gets the 9/8. This is another one. Beautiful, beautiful copy, but it's got the tiniest, probably not going to be able to see it on here. No, you're not. It has a tiniest little color rub right on the spine right there. Sometimes they'll let that slide, sometimes they won't. We're going to take a shot. Strange Academy number 2, the Silva. I'm going to send this in. I just have one of them in a 9/8, but I believe this is a 9/8 as well, so I'd like to, the other one was from my PC. I'd like to have one to sell. That light's starting to get me there. This is another one too. Another one, just had it slabbed, got a 9/8. I'm not certain this one is a 9/8, but at the very least it's a 9/6. So I think I'm going to send that in and take a shot and hope it gets the 9/8, because then I have a nice book to sell, and a nice one to keep. Strange Academy 4. The 1 in 100 Alex Ross sketch variant. This is a beautiful copy. And, Scarlet Witch is hot right now. WandaVision. So I think it's worthy of a slab. We're going to send that. And then there's 2 more. Another Scotty Young variant. And finally, the Walmart variant. The blue writing, not the red. I have the red one as well. I like those Walmart ones because I think they're hard to get in a 9/8. They come in those poly bags, and a lot of times they come and they're already kind of beat up. So it's hard to get a 9/8. So I feel like down the line, those are just good to have because... Oh, I didn't even talk about those ones. Okay. Sorry, there was a couple over here I missed. There's another Strange Academy. I don't think I'm going to send this one in. I don't think this one could get the 9/8. But, it's another Scotty Young variant. There's a Radiant Black number 1 that I think would absolutely get a 9/8. And this is really a great story. I don't know if anybody's reading this out there, but I suggest that you do. These can still be had for cover price at a lot of shops. Still have them. I have a J. Scott Campbell, Strange Academy number 1, The Virgin, the Comic Mint, and I mean the J. Scott Campbell. This is absolutely my favorite cover of them all. This is beautiful. I love J. Scott Campbell's artwork to begin with, and I just love the way that he did this. I love the way he did this book. So I have that in the slab myself, but you know, thinking about sending another one. Here we go. Another Something's Killing the Children, number 9. Telling you guys, jump on that book. The prices keep getting higher and higher on it, and I mean it's deserving of it. Here's one too that I picked up recently. Black Cotton, number 1. Um, the story here really is, if the roles in society were switched, and that you know white people were in the minority in the social standings. It's, I don't know, it's kind of a weird story. I've read it, but I don't know if I'll be going back for number 2. But it was a very low print run on it. A lot of people did like it. So there's another Naomi, number 5. Another one. I'm telling you, that's one to jump on. We have ENIAC, number 2. Bad idea. First printing. Not sending it off for slabbing, but I had picked it up recently. Oh, and then here's my other Something's Killing the Children, number 1, 5th printing. Like I said, this one, has a couple ticks on it that break color. So it's not a 9.8, but super, super low print run. Something's Killing the Children, 11. This was the 1 per store virgin variant. Not slappable because there is a little color rub on that one as well. But a nice book nonetheless. Nottingham, 2nd print, number 1. Now this is crazy. I saw these online. These were pre-selling on eBay for like $200, and people were buying them. I paid cover price for both of these, thank God. And I'll tell you, I love this story. I absolutely love it. I've been reading it. Issue 1 and 2. Issue 3 is set to come out. I ordered 10 of them, so that I'll have them at my eBay store, and also I could read it. Them other ones are gonna come back slabbed. Like I said, I guarantee they're 9.8s, and I'm gonna put them up because these are all super low print run books. They weren't really heavily ordered. Mad Cave doesn't really put out a lot that people appreciate enough, so they were slept on heavily. I think this was the last one. This is the Department of Truth number 5 Tula Lotte variant, and I just think it's a beautiful cover. I think out the gate this came out. It's like a $20 book, but slabbed, it's definitely over $100. So again, I have a copy from my personal collection, not slabbed, but I'm thinking about getting that one slabbed, just so that I could keep funding the hobby. That's what it's really all about at the end of the day, right? I'm pretty sure I touched all the bases there and went over everything. Just make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, look at that, I did. Huh. These are some other things that I had grabbed in the past that I would love to send off for grading, because I believe in them, but they need a good press. I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 95. This is the first appearance of Jennika as a turtle, when Jennika becomes a turtle in these books. And I think that's a pretty big deal in the storyline itself. They're nice, beautiful artwork. We got the Eastman over here. The cover A, there's actually a lot less cover A's on the census, so that's the one that I really would like to get. And slabbed, it's a pretty decent money book right there too. And then this one, I would love to get this one slabbed. Strange Academy number 1, the Peach Momoko. This is again one of my favorite Peach covers. I love the Department of Truth one she did as well. But unfortunately, this one has a crushed corner. I can't press out. I tried everything. I use sometimes just a little mini iron. I'll take my book, open it up. I'll put the card stock in there, maybe a couple pieces of inkjet paper, and then put my Teflon paper over the top and just give it a light press just right down the spine of the book. If you ever have like little light ticks you want to get out, that's an easy way to do that. It's inexpensive. I think this thing was like 20 bucks. I picked it up for online. And I guess that's pretty much it for today, guys. Again, I just wanted to put something up, make a video. I'm gonna figure this camera out later, so the next time we can do this right. And I'll definitely do a pressing video. I don't know if you guys can see it. I got the press over here, though. I got it going right now. It's the press I use. I have a Something's Killing the Children number 10 second print in there that I want to send off for the PC. And I mean, if you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know. If you can, press the like button. That surely goes a long way in allowing me to continue to make videos and having them seen, thanks to the YouTube algorithm. And I guess that does it for the day, guys. Thanks again for coming, hanging out with me, listening to me ramble. Please leave any comments. I try to answer them all. If anybody has questions, I try to answer it all. And again, if you want to see the eBay store, there's also the Keyhole Collectibles. Thanks, guys, and I will see you on the next one.